If you've ever wondered what the movie Saving Private Ryan would be like if you stripped out all the annoying things like plot and actors, this is it. Call of Duty World at War. This game feels so much like living in the Saving Private Ryan action scenes that there's even an achievement for Xbox Live called Saving Private Ryan.
Help Ryan! Get him off me! There you go! Hold your position! Well done, Marines. Keep moving.
It's an uplifting game where you win friends and influence people with your charm. And by charm, I mean flamethrowers and machine guns, sniper rifles, pistols, bazookas. You do pretty much everything except shoot them with laser pistols in this game. Similar to how Guitar Hero World Tour was actually Guitar Hero 4, Call of Duty World at War is Call of Duty 5. They're moving away from numbers, I don't know why. Call of Duty 4 was Modern War, and I'm not too into the Modern War games, so I passed on that one. But I played Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3, both World War II based games, and if you've played those titles, this is going to seem very familiar, and it's a lot like the earlier games except amplified. The violence and destruction volume meter has been turned up to 11, and the game is intensely frantic, which is the best way to describe it, which is a good thing. It's an intense first-person shooter. And has a completely different feel than games like Halo 3 or Resistance 2. Technically, I don't need to state the obvious. You can see on screen that it looks fantastic. If you look at the classic Game Rom review that we did in 1999 for the first Medal of Honor game, you can see how far these World War II games have come in 10 years. Graphically, the game is solid, the sound effects are top-notch, and when playing on a high-definition television, which is helpful so you can see the snipers hiding in the trees, and a surround sound system so you can hear the snipers shooting you in the back, the game really immerses you in the combat. In games like Halo or Resistance, you seem to glide through the action. You have shields and force fields and needlers, and you can shoot through walls. This game is completely different, especially in the scenes with the trenches. It's much more strategic and very challenging. I have to say I enjoyed crawling through the trenches, picking off enemies one by one, using grenades and the smoke grenades to great effect. And of course, there's the flamethrower. The fire effects look fantastic, and I don't think I'd really like to see what somebody looks like when being hit with a flamethrower, but in this game, it's a lot of fun. As you can see on screen here, one thing that really jumped out at me was the camera lens focal length effects. Things are constantly moving in and out of focus depending on if you're zoomed in, where they are in relation to you. Here on the Xbox, with the left trigger you zoom in on things and the right trigger you fire. When you pull back from zooming, it seamlessly changes focal lengths and it looks very nice. Similar to what they use in films like Black Hawk Down and Saving Private Ryan, the camera work in the game has a very handheld, jerky feel to it, which adds to the cinematic feel of the game. This is basically the 21st century version of playing with those little green plastic army soldiers. When playing this game, instead of watching somebody kick ass in a war film, you're kicking ass. Although, I'll admit it, I must have gotten blown up about 100 times while crawling through the trenches. I even won the Purple Heart Award. The achievement for getting blown up, I don't know, way too many times. Those pesky grenades, they kept getting me. I like the strategy required to get through some scenes. Like here, I was using grenades, a smoke grenade, machine guns, and a flamethrower to clear out this enemy mortar. Similar to the earlier games, you play a couple different characters. Here in the beginning, I'm playing as an American. In the Pacific campaign, you also play as a Russian fighting against the Germans. We'll get into some more levels and any of the additional stuff I haven't gotten to yet, and some more weapons in the second part of the review. The game does have online co-op play, and of course the popular multiplayer action makes a return. Yes, the tanks do make a return, which I thought were a lot more fun in this game than they were in Call of Duty 2, for instance. And if anyone's ever heard the song Tank from Life, Sex, and Death, you gotta sing that song to yourself while you're driving this thing. We'll see you back here with more carnage in part 2.